explainer. Okay, imagine, just for a second, the absolute biggest sports tournament on the entire planet, right? Now imagine a priceless, solid gold prize that represents the absolute pinnacle of human athletic achievement. And finally, picture a massive, highly coordinated true crime heist that completely, utterly baffled the greatest detectives in the world. Usually, stories like this end in tragedy or some decades-long mystery, but today, we're going to explore a case where the hero who cracked the biggest crime of the century didn't wear a trench coat, he didn't carry a badge. Actually, he had 4 legs, a wagging tail, and a really, really good nose. Today, we're looking at the absolutely incredible true story of how a dog found the stolen World Cup. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The greatest football heist, or as they saw it in March 1966, a national disaster. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand the sheer magnitude of this whole story, we kind of have to travel back in time and set the stage for what quickly became an unmitigated national disaster. So the year is March 1966. The place is London. The World Cup is literally just months away from kicking off, and you can imagine the excitement in the air is completely palpable. As part of this massive build-up to the games, there's this highly publicized public exhibition. Fans are thrilled, the press is buzzing. But then, right in the middle of all the cheering crowds and the national celebration, the unthinkable happens. Picture police sirens blaring. Picture a velvet box sitting completely empty under a harsh spotlight. Right under everyone's noses, a crime is committed that instantly turns all that national pride into sheer, unadulterated panic. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal? Well, what's absolutely crucial to understand here is the gravity of exactly what was taken. We aren't just talking about a piece of sports memorabilia or, a replica meant for the fans to look at. We're talking about the Jules Rimet trophy, the actual solid gold World Cup trophy. At the time, this was the most valuable trophy in the world. It was a priceless artifact. It symbolized global sporting supremacy. So for a host nation to lose this right before the tournament, the scale of the crime and the resulting embarrassment is honestly hard to overstate. It was a total catastrophe. So how did they actually pull this off? The audacity of these thieves is just staggering. Step 1, bypass the tight security. Despite all the guards, all the strict protocols meant to protect this global treasure, the thieves slipped right through. Step 2, they literally just sneaked in through the back door of the exhibition hall. I know, right? And step 3, they snatched the trophy, just like that. They walked out with the most valuable prize in the world, leaving an entire nation absolutely humiliated. It was a flawless, if completely devastating execution. All right, moving on to Section 2. Scotland Yard is baffled, and the clueless hunt begins. Which brings us to the immediate, chaotic aftermath. Scotland Yard, one of the most famous and supposedly elite police forces on the planet, is called in. But, it turns into a completely clueless hunt. And this brilliantly illustrates how the ticking clock created immense pressure. Day 1, the trophy is snatched. Utter disbelief. Day 2, the thieves demand a massive ransom. Suddenly, the stakes are raised astronomically, and this crazy cat-and-mouse game begins. But jump to day 7, the police have actually managed to arrest a few suspects, but there's a massive, glaring problem here. They have absolutely zero leads on the location of the trophy itself. A full week has passed, suspects are in custody, but that solid gold prize is nowhere to be found. Scotland Yard is basically running in circles. At this point, the reality setting in is incredibly grim. Without the actual trophy, football history was literally about to be ruined. FIFA's biggest tournament faces unprecedented embarrassment. Imagine hosting the World Cup. The eyes of the entire globe are on your country, and you have to tell the winning team, sorry, we kind of lost it. The tension was suffocating. Honestly, all hope seemed completely lost. Until Section 3, enter Pickles the dog, our completely unlikely hero. And right here, the tension abruptly breaks. We shift gears from this high-stakes, gloomy true crime thriller to something completely, wonderfully unexpected. 7 days into this national crisis, a man named David Corbett decides to just take his dog out for a regular, quiet walk in South London. And this is where the story gets incredibly funny. You really have to appreciate the irony here. On one side, you have the entirety of Scotland Yard's investigation, right? Massive panic, a nationwide manhunt, interrogating suspects, poring over ransom notes and coming up totally empty. On the other side, you have Pickles' investigation method, going for a casual afternoon stroll and aggressively sniffing a neighbor's bush. The sheer absurdity of a local dog doing better detective work than the entire British police force is it's pure comedy gold. So picture the scene. David Corbett and Pickles are on this normal walk. Suddenly, Pickles darts over to a neighbor's bush. He's intensely sniffing at something hidden down there, and he absolutely refuses to leave it alone. David walks over to see what has his dog so fascinated, and he finds a strange package. It's heavily wrapped up in old, discarded newspaper. So David reaches down, picks it up, and carefully peels back the layers of paper, having absolutely no idea what he's about to find. Yes, he peels it back and no way. It was the solid gold World Cup trophy. David literally couldn't believe his eyes. Right there, dumped under a random South London bush, was the most sought-after, highly valued object on the entire planet. Pickles had completely cracked the case. The sheer joy and utter ridiculousness of this discovery is unmatched in the history of sports. A dog sniffing around a bush literally saved the World Cup. Bringing us to Section 4, football's best boy becomes a global celebrity. From that exact moment on, everything changed for David and his furry friend. We entered the incredibly heartwarming aftermath. Pickles wasn't just a local pet anymore. He was instantly propelled into the spotlight. First, he became an overnight global celebrity. His face was splashed across newspaper headlines worldwide. Second, he won a year's supply of food, which, let's be honest, is the ultimate lottery win for any dog. So the crucial point is, sometimes the greatest heroes in the world don't want medals of honor. They just want a really, really good treat. And the absolute kicker? When the tournament actually happened and England went on to win that 1966 World Cup, Pickles was formally invited to the official England victory celebration. He was literally the guest of honor, rubbing shoulders with football legends. Which leads us to our final undisputed conclusion. Imagine a dog single-handedly saving FIFA's biggest tournament from total ruin. So, who is the best boy in football history? Definitely Pickles. No contest whatsoever. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you want to dive into more crazy true stories and efficient visual breakdowns just like this one, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I'll leave you with this to think about. What incredibly valuable, completely ordinary object do you think your pet could sniff out to save the day? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next explainer.